So, hello and like welcome. It's amazing to to have you here all the way for the Inclusive Innovations event. So we just wanted to have a chat with you to understand a bit more about your story and your journey. How about we start with the two of you introducing yourself?
Yeah, no problem. I think I'll start first. So, my name is Lin Donglai. I am 17 years old. I'm from Beijing, China, and people usually call me Lin. I study at the school Beijing Academy. Right now, I'm really interested in science and technology, and particularly the application of technology on social issues.
Okay, so hi, I'm Benjamin. I'm at the age of 16, and we're from the same class. And I'll be majoring in mechanical engineering. Well, it's quite weird for like engineer to
Yeah.
to develop an app for people with visual impairments.
Mhm.
And I'm really glad to be here to take the opportunity of in and share our ideas with other participants.
Awesome. So the two of you have developed an application called Orinav. Can you talk to me a bit more about exactly what the application is?
Yeah, sure. So Orinav is a navigation app that we have developed for people with visual impairments, and that results from closely working with a couple of friends with visual impairments that we have back in China. And the goal of the app is to combine navigation, that is the route planning feature, and environment awareness features so that the users can better navigate the unique conditions of China and probably also other parts in the world. So we integrated features like obstacle recognition, detecting traffic lights, and aligning users to the road, among others, so that we want users to have an entire experience of navigation that can be done entirely in our app.
Got it. And y- and how did you think of like like developing this itself? Like how did the idea begin?
It was actually kind of a long story. So, the idea about working on something with people with visual impairments started back in last summer, summer 2024. So, back then, we had summer break and I was kind of bored at home. And I wanted to find something to do.
Yeah.
And I thought, why don't I volunteer? So, I scrolled through the volunteering website of the city government and I found a gag that I thought was pretty interesting, which is teaching English to a high school student with visual impairments. And through that experience, that kind of got me thinking because after meeting people with visual impairments, the high school students with visual impairments, I realized that I had actually had many myths, wrong beliefs about people with visual impairments. I thought they were so different from us, sighted people, and that we would never be able to connect in any meaningful way. But that experience actually entirely dispelled that myth for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it is with that idea, that renewed idea of connection, that I thought that I might be able to do something that is worthwhile, actually worthwhile for people with visual impairments. And after a couple of interviews with them, along with working with some researchers at the Tsinghua University's Institute of Accessibility Development, we came to this idea and we continue to work on it throughout the year.
Got it. And how did the two of you meet? Like, what is the story there?
So actually, at first, we were trying to take part in a competition.
Mm-hmm.
So we were trying to search for some ideas to to do, and we, as Lynn mentioned, we communicated with the researchers from Tsinghua University, and we did some interviews with other some people with visual impairments, and yeah, we just came up with this idea, kind of.
I wanted to add that Benjamin actually invited me to the competition. So it was actually his idea at first, and for that I am very grateful.
Awesome. Then maybe talk to me about like how did like it start? Because I'm assuming you started with a research first. So like what was the research process like? What were the insights that you got when you went and started talking to people who are blind and or have low vision?
Yeah, so when we began the research, we started it with interviews. And the thing is, because we are sighted, I did not actually know that much about the life of people with visual impairments.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked by asking about the details of their life, my high school students
Mm-hmm.
that I taught English to.
Mm-hmm.
And then throughout that, I discovered several problems that I thought would be quite interesting to solve. Many of the problems actually relate to the deficiency in accessible infrastructure in China. So, accessibility in the environment, like tactile pathways and accessible traffic lights, are actually very limited, and then that poses its own set of problems that lends itself to the theme of navigation. And there are also many other issues, such as with the education, facilities for education, materials available, and general accessibility issues. We tried to determine a specific topic that we could work on because working on a huge idea of accessibility, a huge idea of people with visual impairments, it is kind of limiting in itself. And then we thought navigation would be a topic that is sufficiently practicable for us, which are kids, high school students, and that would also be rather useful for the high school students that I have interviewed. So that was the first part, like trying to determine a general navigation, the theme of navigation. And then the second part was actually going into the literature, going into the market, and learning about what is there. And to this end, working with some researchers at the university, we read through around 20 to 30 papers to get an overview of the field. And we also learned more about the tools that are already available on the market for navigation. In fact, that was the first time that I learned about Envision and other tools as well. And that also struck me as particularly interesting. Eventually, we decided upon a topic because we saw that there were many tools for navigation like route planning and also many tools for general environment awareness. We saw that we did not see a single tool that is able to allow users with visual impairments to actually complete both of these navigation tasks in one. Considering this gap and considering our limited technical expertise as high school students, because for all means I do not think high school students can make some technical breakthrough. We thought doing some integration work might actually be the best for us, and that is how we ultimately started.
Interesting. And what were some of the insights, like, because you said you had a lot of like misconceptions about how a blind person operates and like does things. Are there any insights that stand out that like you got in like the research phase?
There were actually a couple of insights that I did not really realize before starting with the research. So initially, I had thought like navigation is simply getting from point A to point B, but then I realized that it is actually much more of a complicated issue than what I originally thought. The researchers actually clarified us on this. So we learned that there are actually 3 tasks in the navigation of people with visual impairments, and that involves answering the questions of where am I going, and how do I get there. And we realized that the how do we get there problem is especially potent, especially in China, where you want to when you're at the destination, you do not actually know where to go. You do not actually know the entrance of the building, the entrance of the park, the locations that you actually want to go. That was one of the insights that we got, the complexity of the navigation problem. And then the other insight I feel is just as I previously mentioned. I used to have a really ableist idea when communicating with people with visual impairments. And the experience working with them, teaching them English, that really made me realize that I had this invisible barrier in mind between them, but they're actually not too much different from us. They live a daily life, they work as we do, they study as we do, and that connection was really an enormous insight and an enormous asset that I want to hone in my future works.
Great. And as you started the development, like what was the biggest challenge when you started doing the development of this application?
The first challenge, I think, is the navigation part, because we were trying to kind of like develop our own navigation system at first. So we started by like trying to let the phone to calculate the routes based on the map information, and we didn't use the map.
Third party.
Yes, third party. So yeah, so after we tried for developing this system for like around 1 month, we found out that we were not able to like accomplish this task, and we started searching for the third party, some companies, so to that provide the features of navigation. So finally, we chose the Tencent. It's kind of a huge company in China that controls like every information. So
Yeah, it's a long journey. That actually reminded me, we actually made two versions of the navigation app. The first version we intended solely for the competition, and it was utterly useless because just as Benjamin mentioned, we tried to roll our own route planning solution and it didn't work at all. And on the day of the competition, it broke down and we tried to budge. I do not know if the judges saw us budging. And then after a while, we thought this might actually be worthwhile beyond the competition. So we worked it into like a longer project. We actually integrated the SDKs for it to work. So for China, as Benjamin mentioned, we used Tencent Map. And for outside of China, we used Mapbox. That was one of the navigation challenges. The other challenge is probably more on the environment awareness side. So I feel like we have actually reached a couple of open problems in the field of environment awareness. Initially, we worked on the traffic light recognition. That was one of the important things that we wanted to work on. But the accuracy was so low that it could not be used at all, and then that took a lot of maneuvering over. We had to invite another of our classmates who was working on machine learning and studies around that so that we could improve it. That was the technical challenges were definitely enormous.
Got it. Interesting. And then you've already been like testing this solution with people who are blind or have a low vision back in China. What has been the feedback, actually from them as you've been doing a testing of this?
Yeah, so we have been doing a little bit of testing. We're still in the preliminary stages. So our teacher actually very kindly invited some people with visual impairments who are working at a local massage center to help us with the testing. And the results has been generally positive. And they actually offered us several feedback. The first feedback was regarding the features. So some of the features we did not actually really consider the use cases for people with visual impairment. So they recommended that we add a feature that would allow them to be able to get on tactile pathways so that they could navigate more confidently. And then the other feature, it was actually very insightful. So we had this alignment feature in the app that allows people to actually face the sidewalk that they are walking on. And initially we used this convoluted feedback mechanism that was like turn 37 degrees east, something like that. And the testers reported that it was actually very confusing to keep track of all the numbers. And that made us switch to another feedback mechanism that was like turn 3 o'clock, turn 2 o'clock, and that was a lot clearer in their opinion. And there are also many other pieces of feedback like this surrounding usability, surrounding accessibility, surrounding features. And I think that we still have a lot to work on.
Understood. So you are two 16-year-olds with a lot of ambition and a lot of initiative. I think that is clear. So what is the future looking like? Do you have a roadmap ahead of what you want to do with Orinav?
So right now the roadmap is initial. First of all, after we return to China, we're going to take all the feedback that we have received at Inclusive Innovations and improve our product, improve our product, and we are also going to. After that, we're going to conduct additional rounds of testing, first with local users from China, and then afterwards potentially in other countries, so that we could iterate and improve.
Got it. So looking ahead into the future, there is, of course, also a lot of your challenges. You've already overcome a lot of them in your journey so far. But looking ahead, what are like the big challenges that you think you'll have to overcome in order to scale this?
So one of the biggest challenges we had is kind of like the lack of data, because in China, where we come from, it is a developing country where people actually face a large gap in the conception side between China and Europe, and so they don't really care about accessibility. They don't really think that the problem of people with disabilities is pretty large. So one thing we're trying to do is in the future we'll combine the feature of tactile paving recognition, which requires a large data for the accessible infrastructure, but I don't think the data for it is kind of like transparent to us, because we're still two high school students, so we don't have the access to many data. So that's one of the problem.
Yeah, that's like technical challenges. And then there are also challenges about maintaining the project in the future. So we are all in grade 11. Soon enough, we'll apply to college, and after that, we'll go to college. And there is still a significant debate on where we will bring it afterwards. Like, if we were to monetize it, how do we monetize it? How do we keep it alive? If we were to pursue an open source pathway, how do we have a community? How do we keep maintaining it? All of these are actually very big questions that we're still trying to explore and solve. And then right now, I feel that we still have around a year or two before we are actually going to face these problems. But it's definitely important to think ahead, and especially the future prospects of the project.
Understood. So to everybody who is watching this, like what is, so there are two things. One is how can they find out about you? How can they reach you? And is there anything specific that they can they can help you with? Are you looking for feedback? Are you looking for funding? Are you looking for support? So what would be your like the call to action to anybody who is watching this?
Yeah, so to anybody who is watching this, our website is on orinav.com. Please feel free to email me. I'm at lin@orinav.com, lin@orinav.com. Our Instagram is at orinav_app. It would be incredible if people would get to contact us through here. And right now, we would definitely love more feedback for improvement on Orinav. We would also love technical support regarding the development of future Orinav features.
All right. Anything else you want to say to bring this to a conclusion?
Just adding that the Orinav app is now available on the App Store. So yes, feel free to try it, and please give us some feedbacks.
Roast us, do roast us.
Awesome. Like Lin and like Ben, thank you so much for your time. I think you guys are incredibly you're ambitious. I wish you all the best, and I think all of us wish you all the success in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
All right.
All right.